Hey everybody, welcome to Sew with Joe. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, doing a big knee sub-panel patch underneath the knee of my 20-plus-year-old jeans. Let's get into it. So yeah, if you remember, this was a piece of material that I cut out of another one of my pairs of old jeans that I'm not going to continue with. And so it's a layer of denim, and a layer of denim, and a layer of corduroy, and an AC/DC patch. So patching on my patching patches onto my patches, patching patches under my patches, and it's starting to look a little bit patchy. So, good world news. Today I actually looked up some stuff, or last night I looked up some stuff. And British Columbia right now, we're not getting a whole lot of good news out of British Columbia right now, so here's some. Apparently the British Columbia government has decided to stop logging on 10,000 acres of some of the old growth forests in BC. If you don't know what the forests are like in British Columbia, it's unbelievable. The only place you get forest like that is like rainforests. I think BC is actually considered a rainforest. It's unreal how huge those trees are, and I can't imagine cutting them down. You walk amongst these trees, and the stumps or or the trunks. I mean, you can't even, like, a couple people can't even reach around them. These trees are massive. And got to see this, thankfully, firsthand a few years ago. Made a trip out there. And these forests are unbelievable. I thought we had some big trees where I am. Nothing compared to this. Just massive. And the thing that I think is really, really cool is when you see trees growing out of other trees. Like if a tree snaps off and you've got a bit of a stump sticking up and then the tree falls over, kind of thing. They have trees growing out of the stump and out of the tree wherever seeds would fall. And to me, that's just absolutely beautiful. The new growth growing in right on top of the old. Treeception. It's really, really stunning. Where I am, we have what we call the tree of many trees, just on our yard. It's a tree that actually fell over and then continued to grow. So the branches that ended up in contact with the ground ended up growing into the ground and then growing either further into the ground as roots, or they grew down into the ground and then back up and started their own trees. So I call it the tree of many trees. It looks really neat. So, massive good news out of BC, saving our rainforests. It's a good thing because I can't haul it out of the province right now anyway. No, just kidding. I don't know what the transportation situations actually are like. I know certain parts of BC are cut off from everything right now. Coffee, cheers. But I'm sure that they're, where they do the actual logging, the more northern parts, I'm sure that I'm fairly certain anyways that that's still accessible. I don't know though. If I'm wrong, tell me. Always reminds me of watching The Big Lebowski. Walter, when he's being a bit ignorant, he's like, "Am I wrong?" "No." "Am I wrong?" "No, you're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole." And, if you're okay with being a correct asshole, then that's fine. It's a very Walter. And sometimes that's what you gotta do. Just, if you're right, you're right. And even if it's not necessarily the most popular opinion, sometimes you just need to maintain being right, even if you're a bit of a dink. I'm not saying be a complete and total prick, I think there's a difference between being assertive and being a complete twat, Oh, to finish that quote, it's, "No, Walter, you're just an asshole." He finishes with, "Okay then." So he fully admits that he is an asshole, but he also fully admits that he is very right. I'm actually part of a Big Lebowski group on Facebook. And they post some really cool stuff. I think I might actually put up some of these, or one of these videos up on there, just see if any of my fellow duders are interested to see what thoughts are going on in the old duder's head. All the ins and outs, all the what have yous. All the new shit that comes to light. That's one of the favorite movies of all time on my list. My brother introduced me to it many, many years ago. And the first time I watched it, I didn't really get it. I had to watch it, I think, 4 or 5 times till I understood exactly what happened in that movie, because it is weird. Yeah, if you I'm not even going to say a fan of any type of movie, because that movie, I think, crosses a lot of genres. Comedy, of course, being the main one. There's just so much there. If you enjoy movies, watch that movie. I don't know how else to say it. story's interesting. It's well acted, well presented. Um, very, very different movie. It's like when you talk to a movie person about um, Tarantino movies or Rodriguez movies, or some of the really interesting people that are putting out films these days. It's just, if you like watching movies, you would probably like watching their stuff. Um, and I guess what I mean is just, if you have an appreciation for unique movies, different perspective movies, it's one of those. I'm so glad they didn't make a sequel. I've heard that there might be one coming up, but I really hope not. Because what do you do without Donnie? Who do you tell? And I'm sorry, there's some coarse language in this movie, so when I'm referencing it, then there will be some swearing. I'm sorry, but if you don't have a Donnie, who are you going to tell to shut the fuck up? And who's going to be your other bowler? Because Donnie was just knocking him dead all the time. He was on fire. The other guys are dead in the water. If you know the movie, So I don't know. It'd be interesting. Interesting to see what they would do with the new one, but I don't know. Not sure if it's worth the risk. Let me know what you think. Thought I'd heard some rumor about them making another one, but I don't know. Yeah, I have some Lebowski lounge pants that my wife got me a little while ago. I should wear those for one of the episodes. I had, and I may still have, but I had a Lebowski cardigan. And I don't know. I don't know if I put it down somewhere and walked away from it. I don't know if it's tucked away somewhere. I don't know if it went AWOL in our last move. I don't know. If I do find that, I will definitely wear that for all you little Lebowski urban achievers out there. No other good world news. The Great Barrier Reef is actually recovering, it seems. Either that or this was just a good year for it, but it's the Great Barrier Reef is spawning again. So that's awesome news. The reefs have been dying for a long time. And I thought that I had heard that they had actually pronounced the Great Barrier Reef dead. I might be confusing this with another reef. I don't know. If I am, let me know. Yeah, I thought the Great Barrier Reef was completely dead. So that's massive news for world health. There are a lot of living systems that count on the reefs for survival. If I understand this correctly, the reefs are alive, which I never realized when I was younger. It's really cool. Obviously, if they're spawning, they're alive. They, like I say, if I'm remembering this correctly, they consume carbon. Carbon. One of carbon's many oxides. To quote Archer. And provide food, shelter, etc. for all sorts of different aquatic life. And oxygen. Oxygen, period. Which is good. So yeah, huge positive world news. The Great Barrier Reef had a good year. It's cool that people are finally realizing that the resources in the oceans are important. And there's so much of this planet that we haven't discovered yet. Like, I don't know why there's overpopulation or overcrowding anywhere. Like, I understand financial issues, you know, but as far as availability of land, there's so much land. There are places that you can fly for hours over it and there's nothing. So why do we cram billions of people into these tiny little countries? Maybe the tiny movement is spawning from that. Tiny house, like, with everything, with the economy just going to crap and people not being able to afford anything, people are living smaller, multi-generational living is coming back, that sort of thing. I'm interested to see more people get back into homesteading, you know, buy a piece of property out in the middle of absolute nowhere and just make it work. You know, like, that's what people did when they came here. You adapted and you made it work. I guess depending on which ethnic group you were when you came to North America. That's a whole other topic. Great job. Yeah, Great Barrier Reef making a comeback. Maybe the environment making a comeback. I don't know. I'm feeling global warming where we are. It's the environment is changing. Or the climate is changing, definitely. Other good world news? I actually looked a few things up, if you can tell. Other good world news. If you're concerned about the world being taken out by an asteroid, I bet you know, some people think about these things. Then good news, everyone. NASA has launched what they call the DART program. And I don't know if it was a Canadian program, they might not have called it the DART. But U.S. NASA have launched a rocket. It's called the DART. The double. Oh man, I gotta read this. The Double Asteroid Redirection Test. Double Asteroid Redirection Test. So what, if I understood this correctly from the article, what they're doing is sending a rocket out to collide with it, and it sounded like it's a moon around an asteroid or something like this. Two spectral bodies that move in relation to one another. So they're going to hit one of them and then monitor both of them. Basically, the rocket is going to come in and just plow into an orbiting asteroid, moon, whatever you want to call it, and just hit it at, oh, what was it? 3 or 4 miles per second is the rate that it's going to be traveling at. So very quickly. So mass, inertia, impact, movement on a very large scale. And they're just trying to nudge it, just bump it, see how much of an effect that type of impact will have on the flight path of a spectral body, asteroid. I don't know the proper terminology. Moon thingies, star bits, whatever you want to call them. We'll go with the unofficial words more than the official, maybe. So they're gonna try and play bumper boats with a fucking asteroid. Sorry for the language. I'm trying to cut down on my swearing. It's difficult. But yeah, playing bumper boats with things in space. That's, the theory, of course, if all of a sudden there is an asteroid coming towards us, to take out the planet and destroy everything as we know it, we can at least launch something out there. So that's what they're telling us that it's for. Conspiracy theorists everywhere, ears perk up. I don't have a conspiracy theory. I don't delve into that stuff. But if you have one, post us in a comment. Let us know what they're doing out there. Let us know what they're really doing out there. Oh, hey, opportunity for a thimble. Some thimbleism. Sarah lent me one of hers. Let's see if I can use that to push her through. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So satisfying. Much better than having to grab it and shove it through my fingertip. Cut's almost healed. That is the ticket right there. Good old thimbleism. No thimbleism. Haven't found one big enough yet. And if I can use that and it makes that much difference, then I am set. So yeah, British Columbia saving the trees. Great Barrier Reef making a comeback. NASA playing bumper boats in space. That's a positive day. And cleaning up the plastic garbage in the Pacific is still blowing my mind that they're actually doing that. Because that is such a huge undertaking. I just hope they can recycle a lot of that plastic, you know? Like, and I'm just glad they're getting it out of the water, because it does so much damage. And yeah, we've got massive oceans, but eventually you keep putting enough stuff in there, you're going to kill off the oceans too. You know, you're seeing that in the reefs, right? So if we can start fighting back against what we've done, and what's currently being done, then maybe we can actually turn this whole world around. Wouldn't that be nice? So everybody today, if you're still listening, I want to challenge you. Just a random challenge. Get in touch with somebody that you care about that you haven't contacted in a while. Whoever. An old friend, relative, whoever. Anybody that you just haven't seen in a while, talked to in a while, that you've been meaning to get in touch with. Just do it. All it has to be is an email or a text or whatever, but get it in motion. You know, if it's a person that you don't know if they're going to respond, if there's some tension there, if there's some whatever, you're unsure, the only way you're going to be sure is if you do it. And it's worth finding out either way. You know, if someone just isn't into hanging out with you anymore, or is still mad at you for some stupid little thing that happened 20 years ago or whatever, just get it out, just finish it. It doesn't have to be anything big like that either, like just, you know, some friend that you know is gonna, you know, enjoy hearing from you. Just get back in touch with them. It's worth it. It's worth keeping friendships going. And that's one thing I heard yesterday. A friend sent me a audio clip, just how important friends are, and how if you are a true friend, then time lapsed between meetings means nothing. You know, and we have our doubts, of course. Like I have a friend who, you know, oops, dropped my needle. You know, super close friends through high school. Hung out for a long time, saw each other through a lot of crap. And I know he's my friend. I know. You know, we go years between seeing each other. You know, he works elsewhere, and you know, had a wife, had a family, got divorced. Now is, you know, in his later relationships, and you know, he's busy with all that in his career, and we understand that about each other. You know, he's out, and but then you always have your doubts. So I think, well, yeah, what if something's changed? What if I said something last time that pissed him off? Or, you know, what if he saw something on Facebook he didn't like? You know, stupid crap like that, right? But he is my friend. friends real, true friends are rare. I don't know if people realize how rare real, good, true friends are. So yeah, just appreciate them. Get in touch with them. Go see them if you can, if it works for them. I am going to stop there before I get too far into this next stitch. Just want to keep my hands busy while I was talking about friends. But yeah, get in touch with somebody. Just shoot somebody a message. That's all it takes. And if there's tension there, like I say, whatever, you'll find out real quick what the deal is. And if there's not tension there, then it'll be amazing to get back in touch with them. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I really do value the time that we get to spend together chit-chatting. Leave me a comment on anything that we've talked about today. I love hearing back from anybody that's watching. And till next time, keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. I gotta show you from the outside this time. Before I forget. While I'm eating my cookie. Pardon. Reef.